Dear students, welcome to the next video on The Dolphins by Carol Ann Duffy. Today we are going to talk about the poem and also the literary devices, the themes that have been discussed in the poem by Carol Ann Duffy. You will see that the poem is a unique one, unlike any other poem that you have read earlier. It reminds one of the oppression of the marginalized sections of the society, how the strong do not hesitate to oppress them for satisfying their own needs. And here, Carol Ann Duffy, through the dolphins, focuses or highlights this picture quite carefully. This poem, The Dolphins, is a dramatic monologue. It is an example of an eco-critical writing. Here, the dolphins are the only speaker, as you will understand. They inadvertently reveal the aspects of their condition or character while describing a particular situation or the series of the events that they are undergoing during this time. The poem opens on a disturbing note. The poem largely employs the use of the first person point of view and carries a dejected and a wry tone. There is very little hope for them, even though the dolphins wish for freedom. They wish to move out of their captivity, yet they know that there is little luck for them. The form and language of the poem is quite simple and straightforward. The language is plain, but the juxtaposition of simplicity and the ambiguity at some places makes an impression on the reader. It is sometimes more suggestive than explicit, and the lack of a rhyme scheme, the use of the enjambment, marks the poem. The poet uses cliches with a twist, and it is full of pathos. This confinement of the dolphins evokes emotions in the minds of the readers. Throughout the poem, we are at one with the emotions of the speaker dolphin. So with this introduction, let us begin the poem at once. World is what you swim in or dance. It is simple. We are in our element, but we are not free. To outside this world you cannot breathe for long. The other has my shape, the other's movement forms my thoughts, and also mine. There is a man, and there are hoops. There is a constant flowing guilt. So here the dolphin is telling that the world is what you swim in or dance. It is simple. The world or the space, that personal space, is where they can live freely. But here, the art of swimming and dancing both refer to a form of movement that is controlled, that is guided. The swim or dance is contrasted highly. It underscores the word dancing, it underscores a sense of confinement where it dances in front of the spectators. Even if it swims for the sake of the amusement of the spectators. It is the word simple is an expression or identifiable with joy and happiness without any complications. But it is also important for us, the readers, to understand that this simplicity is no longer there. So, their identity as a sea-roving creature has been overlooked, and their life has become a public spectacle. We are in our element, but we are not free. Outside this world, you cannot breathe for long. These lines here is the lament of the deracinated dolphin who is caged in an aquarium or a water body that is enclosed, unlike the natural habitat where it is free to roam about. The beginning of these lines with we, the first person plural, is very significant. The element refers to the artificial habitat And the line or the phrase, "we are not free," refers to the dolphins being subjected to confinement. The element is the first use of the cliche by the poet, a cliche that is used to explain what one likes to do. "We are in our element" means the dolphins are in their own natural state. Outside this world, you cannot breathe for long. This refers to the survival in their alternate ways. There is no other alternative but to stay in that captivity. The dolphins realize that no matter how unhappy or unwilling they are made to swim or dance for amusement. That is their place where they are supposed to breathe. There is no other alternative ways. "You" here refers to another fellow dolphin. So we understand that it is a community feeling. They empathize with one another, as you will find throughout the poem, the dolphins echoing the feelings of the human beings, their emotions. They are communicating with the other fellow dolphins in their own language, in their own music, just like human beings. So here "you" refers to a fellow dolphin. This line, "outside this world you cannot breathe for long," carry a tone of desolation. "The other has my shape, the other's movement forms my thoughts, and also mine." So with this line, "the other has my shape," the poetess introduces an element of mystery. So the second element is introduced here, and this is the introduction to the initial ambiguity. The other may also refer to the person performing the tricks. So the other may refer to the human beings or to the mentor or the owner who owns the dolphins. So we do not feel that the dolphins are being able to identify with the other at all. The other remains the outsider for them. It is very important for us, the readers, to notice at the same time the segregation. The marginalized section of the society are subjected to segregation too. They are also treated as the other. Moreover, they also view this marginalized section also views the superior ones, the ones in majority, to be the other. No one is allowed to come into the domain of the one or the other. Another significant thing that one should note is "the other has my shape." He may know the pose or the shape. Here he refers to the owner. The owner may know the pose or the shape of the dolphins that should take to make the act more entertaining. So the other's movement controls the dolphin's movement. The word another has significant meaning. It is that the animal without any say molds itself into the shape, molds into the directions of the owner or the mentor. It may also point out to another dolphin whose movement guides other dolphins' movement, because as we find that they are together in a herd or in a shoal in that captivity. Second meaning of this other is that, as you find me referring here as number B, it shows the others, the audience, the owner, and so on are controlling its life, its movement, and its thoughts. So it remains as the other. Another meaning of the other, as you see in the contrast, is "the other's movement forms my thoughts." It is like an orchestra where one instrument plays in tandem with another to create a beautiful art piece. This control of the other, this other in the poem, the two others, these two are different. This other hints or reminds to the others that the controlled lives of the marginalized section. If you come across the poem The Slave's Dream, as you will find here in this channel too, I have discussed and explained the poem The Slave's Dream. You will find that the slave is subjected to equal treatment, to equal marginalization, to equal oppression, and it is powerless to act, just like the dolphins. So it is a grim reminder to the poem by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, The Slave's Dream. Let's move on to the next lines. And there are hoops, there is a constant flowing guilt. The hoops point to the cliche, the second cliche that we are coming across, jumping through the hoops. But since the dolphins actually jump through the hoops on orders, the poet has used it as an overrun. There is a constant overflowing or constant flowing guilt. Guilt here refers to the shame. It is a probable hint at the willingness to seek freedom, yet it is powerless to act. And the second meaning of the flowing guilt is the guilt at not being able to perform according to the directions of the mentor. So it is constantly subjected to harsh treatments or punishment, and as a result, the dolphin feels guilty. So here in these few lines of the poem, we find a sense of enslavement and the lack of freedom that pervades the entire poem. This forceful behavior is against their nature, and their unwillingness to perform the acts show how unhappy they are. Moving on to the next lines, we have found no truth in these waters. The dolphin keeps on telling that they have found no truth in these waters. No explanations tremble on our flesh. We were blessed, and now we are not blessed. After traveling such space for days, we began to translate. It was the same space. It is the same space always, and above it is the man. So, the dolphin in these lines continues to pour out its woes. The waters of the aquarium are alien and hostile. In that captive place, it is alien and hostile. They are not able to relate to the waters unlike their natural habitat. No truth refers to the hostile waters that is not suitable. And these waters again refer to the artificial water bodies or the aquarium waters. No explanations tremble on our flesh. They are clueless as to why the dolphins have to endure such pain and unease. There is nothing to stimulate its skin. No amount of hope, no amount of explanation can arouse any kind of stimulation or can stimulate the skin in any way. Their true worth as sentient and sensitive beings are ignored in these waters. Despite all this and their well-developed sonar system, they are simply the creatures of amusement. They have translated, in fact, into creatures of amusement. We were blessed, and now we are not blessed. The dolphin is reminiscing about their blessed state of existence in the natural waters and feeling sad about the poor conditions that they are now in. After traveling such space for days, we began to translate. This line, after traveling such space for days, we began to translate, this signifies how the dolphins are now trying to accept their fate. After their unlimited space, that is the natural bodies, their movement is now restricted. They began to change their mindset of living in the limited water. It was the same space, it is the same space always, and above it is the man. This word same space is very significant. Even though they are surrounded by the water bodies, their desired space, yet in reality, is very different. It also hints, as you find me mentioning here, is also hints at man's increased encroachment on the natural habitats. Above it is the man. So, this points to the superiority of the man. Finally, the word man is mentioned. The superior or the controlling power, the owner of the mentor is mentioned. It is the man. It points to the superiority. It is figurative. The controlling power of man and his watchful eyes that continuously monitor the movement of the dolphins, their acts, their performance is hinted here. And now we are no longer blessed, for the world will not deepen to dream in. The other knows and out of love reflects me for myself. So here in these lines, the monotony and the depression of the dolphins is echoed once more as they feel that they are out of luck. They want to try to get out of their captivity, yet they are powerless to act. It will not deepen to dream in. The pool in which they are residing, which comprises of their world now, cannot possibly deepen into an ocean where they dream to belong and in which they dreamt freely and happily. The other knows and out of love reflects me for myself. So the dream place is their ocean or the natural habitat, and out of love signifies the mutual understanding which they feel for the other fellow dolphins. Like the previous lines, as you have noticed earlier also, that there is a wonderful empathy that is once again portrayed. Each feels for the other. The same feelings of frustration, sadness, the lack of music is shared. We see our silver skin flash by like memory of somewhere else. There is a colored ball we have to balance till the man has disappeared. The color of their skin and them swimming in the free waters is slowly turning out into a memory. They have forgotten their originality as man has slowly started to encroach their habitat and also captivated them. They have forgotten how it feels like to remain in a natural habitat. There is a colored ball we have to balance till the man has disappeared. With their shift in the habitat, making them ill at ease with their appearance also, which they have not yet grown familiar with, there comes another task that they have to perform, and that is the performance with the colored ball. They are made to balance it till the man, that is their owner, has disappeared. They have to amuse and satisfy the audience and the spectators or the mentors only with the artificiality. Their life from natural has now been reduced to this artificiality. The lines, the words or the phrase you can tell, silver skin, points out to the visual description. It is this simile that how dolphins are aware of their existence in collective, their shoal. This shows how astutely aware dolphins are of their bodily knowledge, and this makes them something as remarkable, something unique creatures, some unique creatures that have ever existed. The moon has disappeared. We circle the well-worn grooves of water on a single note. And music of loss forever from the other's heart, which turns my own to stone. There is a plastic toy, there is no hope. We sink to the limits of this pool until the whistle blows. There is a man, and our mind knows we will die here. The moon has disappeared, yes. The limitless space along with the sky has disappeared. This stanza is replete with the sense of confinement and claustrophobia. We circle the well-worn grooves. It means or hints at the monotony of life and movement. There is only one tune that they have to move about. There is no other alternative. Music of loss forever. This from the other's heart which turns my own to stone. The remarkable quality of the dolphins again is to empathize. As you will find here that one's ability to communicate or the lack of it both inhibits or arouses the feelings of sympathy among the dolphins. Whether one is making music, the other is supposed to follow. If the other is sad or happy, it is bound to affect the other. So, the lack of music in one, the probable death, probable illness, probable punishment, anything of the dolphins affects the other and turns it into stone. This word stone, as you will find, is very important. Here is the use of an internal rhyme, my own to stone, and the brilliant imagery of death and heaviness is conjured by this use of the word stone. One thing that is very evident just right in front of our eyes is that the fact that they are fully aware of their inevitable death. The dolphins are fully aware of their inevitable death. That they are dancing to the tunes of man despite the knowledge, and moreover that there is nothing that they can do about it, imbues this poem with a dark reality which throws up an uncomfortable truth before us and presents before us a reality which we have had a hand in making. Yes, the humans are responsible for it. There is a plastic toy, the artificial external addition to the dolphins themselves, that they have become toys as well. Their emotions are not noted. It does not matter whether they have any feelings or not. There is no hope of freedom at the bottom of the pool too. No matter how deep they try to delve, they cannot escape the reality. Once the whistle blows, they are bound to come up, become a toy, play with a toy, and amuse the mentor or the spectator along with the whistle according to the tune. There is a man and our mind knows that we will die here. The last line betrays a sign of fatalism and hopelessness which weighs down upon these creatures. The hopelessness strikes us quite hard.